Hey, good morning everybody. It is day 11 on the PCT and I am hiking out of Warner Springs. Had a good night. I actually did sleep in an actual pasture last night. But right there close to town, like just a couple hundred yards from the warming center. So I think it was worthwhile. Me and just Chris and another guy named Fizz, who's an AT through hiker from last year. We all camped around there. And oh, by the way, it's Fizz's birthday today. Happy birthday, Fizz. He's still back at camp. But anyway, just Chris is out ahead of me. So yeah, we had the bathroom to use, and I was able to finish charging my battery bank that's giving me problems. So not sure what the problem with it is. I'm just going to have to replace it. I've barely used it. I got it at the end of the AT, so it's kind of new, but also it's been sitting around for a couple of years. You know, that may be something to do with it too. So I'll definitely be looking to address that when we get to Idlewild. So Idlewild's our next stop. It's 42 miles, and we're all trying to get there within the next 2.5 days because it looks like the cold, rain, snow, whatever is going to get to Idlewild sometime like midday-ish Saturday. So I think we're maybe trying to push 17.8 today, which will get us to Mike's place, which is kind of another kind of famous stop where you can get water and maybe camp around there somewhere. So we'll see. So yeah, overall good night. Trying to figure things out and looking at the weather, looking at the trail coming up that they're advising us not to hike on. And so anyway, basically going to just try to focus on these next 2 days, get into Idlewild, and then figure out a plan from there. There's probably going to be multiple options and probably multiple people choosing multiple different things that they're going to do. So we'll figure it out one way or another. So yeah, I got a little bit of elevation today, which I'm kind of thankful for. A lot of people don't like the elevation, but I feel like a mixture is kind of better for your body. Like ergonomically, if you're just walking the exact same elevation, like just flat all day, like I feel like it's harder on your body than if you go some ups, some downs, kind of stretch some different muscles and tendons and things. Maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong about that, but it's just what I prefer. So good news, do have plenty of water today, so that's nice. And I'm also carrying an extra 2 pounds of water in my tent. And once again, 10 out of 11 nights on here, my tent has been very wet with water the next day. It's a single wall tent, it's just part of it. Everybody uses it. It's the duplex, so it's a good tent. Just the nature of the surroundings, camping in pastures next to creeks and things like that. So I think that'll improve as we get further north. But anyway, let me put the phone down. I'm trying to conserve as much battery as I can the next couple days. I may film just a little less than normal, but we'll see how it goes. But I'll catch you guys on up the trail. Well, with water comes water, but also with water comes water crossings. No big deal so far. They've all been pretty easy. I got my feet wet in the pasture a little bit, believe it or not, just from some standing water. All right, peeps, it's about 11 a.m. and all the water I was talking about is about to be finished. This is the last good source until camp, which is about 12 miles away. There was a place in about 4 miles, but it didn't sound like it was very good water, and it was kind of hard to get or whatever. So I'm gonna try to carry 3 liters out. I stayed here a little longer, dry out my tent. My thoughts are to get as much water as I can, so I drank about 1 liter while I was here. And then I'm just going to try to move slow and steady to camp. Try to do about 2 miles an hour. Try to stay in the shade some for some breaks if I can. And it's just kind of hard to figure out because you're like, especially for a heavy guy, like the more water you carry, the more water you need because you're carrying heavier loads, you're exerting more energy. So it's kind of hard to figure that out, but I think that's probably about right, hopefully. So we shall see. And I'll be getting to move on here shortly, so I'll get with you down the trail. Yep, tent dries really quickly. That is a good thing. I also dried it here so I could save a little weight because I'm uphill for about the next 6 miles, and then it's kind of chill the rest of the way. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm away from the creek. and back up into some elevation. It's exposed, but there's a nice breeze, so that's good. Whew, definitely feeling all this water I'm carrying though, no doubt about that. I know it's not that steep because it's the PCT, but this is a brutally long climb today. Like 8 miles of just up, 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 up. It is very tough. Wind on the wind side, it's not so bad. You can cool off a little bit. Boy, it's pretty hot to be like only 60 degrees, like just right in the sun. But yeah, I gotta go up the side of that mountain. I don't know if you can see the trail, and then up the side of that mountain, and gotta be getting close to the top is what I'm hoping. Oh my goodness, but we'll see. Well, people, there's another shot of the problems ahead. Mount San Jacintos, or San Jacintos Mountain, something like that. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Not just snow, it's I don't know. I saw one guy put it, the most worrisome part to me was he said that it was even worse than last year, which was the crazy amount of snow year, because somehow they've had rain that melted and then snow and then something like, so it's basically just ice all the way across the mountain. So they're like really recommending people to go around it at the moment, but we're still a few days from there, so we got a little bit of time, but not much. Like it's currently Thursday, and we'll be in Idlewild on Saturday roughly. So, and then there's another system coming in this weekend with snow. So who knows? Like, just going to see what happens. It's an exciting part of a through hike, and it's just something you have to deal with, especially if you start early. So you have more flexibility, you have more possibilities, but you also have to deal with some stuff and some hard decisions. So we'll figure it out one way or another. I am so excited to see this cute little tent site. And you want to know why? Not because I'm camping there, because I don't have enough water, but because it's the top of the long ass climb. Oh my gosh, like I am not kidding. Whew, it's much better now. 5 miles to camp. Got some downhills, got some uphills, but generally much more chill. Whew, I am thankful. It's a tough one today, peeps. I cannot lie. Whew. More climbing. Did have a little run of downhill, so like I said, it's about 50-50 to camp. So, oh my goodness, it's just ever changing. There's wind that cools you off, then there's no wind in the sun. There's heat, and then there's shade. Like, got all the things today. So we're getting there. Oh my gosh, what a view! I will show you that just to let you know all this hard work is not for nothing. Okay, peeps, I'm closing in on camp finally. It's about a mile away. Looks like I did pretty good. Still got a little bit of water left. Try to keep like at least a quarter liter in case you get choked or something. So did pretty good. Paced myself. Looks like I'm gonna get there about 6 o'clock or so. So I kind of I learned a lot on the AT. On the AT, if I would have been faced with this, I'd probably just died out here somewhere because I wasn't very good with managing it. I would have just took off as fast as I could, thinking I got to get there and I got to push up all these hills. But today I just took my time. Took a lot of breaks. I mean, like probably 5 or 6 of them. I mean, sit-down breaks too, like for 10 or 15 minutes, and then just conserve water as much as I could, but still drink enough and use electrolytes. So worked out pretty good. So it'll be about an 18-mile day, and I'll get to Mike's place. Might have a few shots to show you after I get there. There'll probably be a lot of people there, so maybe not in this episode. We'll see. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. Got another tough decision tomorrow because basically got another similar water carries. Not as much to the hills, but we're kind of in no man's land for camping. We're probably going to be about, I think, let me think, 25 or something, 28 or something like that from Paradise Valley Cafe in Idlewood. So, and then there's only water like one point in between. So you either got to kind of push all of it or maybe pull up short and camp at the water and then head out early on the next day maybe. I don't know. Got to figure it out. So talk to some people. Maybe somebody knows about some caches I don't know about. That would be good. But checked far out as extensively as I could. So anyway, we'll see. It's always an adventure out here, it looks like. So yeah, another day with some beautiful views. Definitely the hardest day on trail so far. I know I did 24 the other night, but a lot of that was pretty smooth sailing. So anyway, as always, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll get back with you in the next one. Well, I made it to Mike's place. I don't see anybody. Thought there'd be a bunch of people camping here, but I don't see anybody. The water was up the road, but I don't know if everybody moved on or I just can't find them. Yeah, definitely this is a relic of the PCT for sure. Definitely a landmark. Lots of interesting stuff to look at.